Hello everyone. For the longest time I have not made some book recommendation video. And so I thought why not tell you about 10 different kind of fiction books which I read last year as well as this year and which I thought can be good recommendation for your summer reads. So without further ado, let's begin today's video. And if you like these kind of videos, then do comment in the comment section below, and to watch similar videos do subscribe to Book Tales by Pritha on YouTube as well as on Instagram. Now I start today's video. I hope you are doing fine in this scorching heat. Better, if possible for you, stay at home between 11 to 5 p.m. 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. because it's very hot outside, and do drink lots and lots of water. Now I start today's video. The first book that I will talk in this particular video is by Murakami. Now Murakami is an institution for book lovers. Now this particular book that I read I think last December, it's what I talk about when I talk about running. I had seen a lot of mention of this particular book in Pooja's Instagram handle, and so I thought that I was not doing any particular exercise. I gained lots of weight, so I got motivated, rather instigated, to think if I can practice running or do some sort of exercise, and it was that time that I caught handle of this particular book. Now sadly I am yet to start running, but the good part is I have started going to gym, and at least in gym in the I'm doing some sort of exercise. Now when I talk about this particular book, what I felt is, after reading this book, Murakami has made a subtle yet beautiful comparison of his habit of running and his habit of writing. Murakami had begun writing from early 70s. The practice of running started in his life as a habit during early 80s, and it was this particular time when he says that he used to write every day as well as run every day. When he started running, he started in small distances, and gradually he had taken part in big marathons even. He continues this practice of running even to this date. I think the book got published somewhere in 2005, and till that point of time he had mentioned that he was a regular runner. This book, if you want to motivate yourself with some kind of daily habit that can bring improvement in your mundane lifestyle, then do read this book. I will not say this is a fiction book. This is somewhat an autobiography of Murakami, where he has mentioned two of his regular habits, that is running and writing. I definitely enjoyed reading this small book, and that is the reason I thought of mentioning this video in this video about this book. The second book that I will like to talk over here is a bestseller by Elizabeth Gilbert. The book in question is Eat, Pray, Love. Most of you have, I am sure, seen the film or read the book. Both are very popular. I am yet to see the movie. I had just completed reading the book, I think in the month of January or February this year. Now, I had previously read non-fiction by Elizabeth Gilbert, which is called Big Magic. Now in that particular book, the author mentions a lot about this book, Eat, Pray, Love, which was a bestseller for a very long time. So I wanted to read this book. I had this book for a long time, but yet I did not get the time. This book is like the autobiography of the author Elizabeth Gilbert. This book talks about the author's purpose in life when she finally finds solitude. She decides to take a break from her life after she had divorce with her long term husband of, I think, several years. Then she had a part time boyfriend with whom again she had a breakup. It is at this point of time, at the age of 32, if I'm not wrong, she decides to take a break and she plans to visit three countries: Italy, India, and Bali, Indonesia, for 6 months each. Towards the end of the book, she finds her purpose in life. This book is like somewhere gets connected to you if you are a financially independent single woman. At least it did connect with me. If you have read this book, Eat, Pray, Love by Elizabeth Gilbert, and if you are still single and financially independent, what were your thoughts after seeing the movie or reading the book? Do mention in the comment down below. I will look forward to your comments and definitely will reply to them. The next book that I would like to talk about is The Unexpected Guest by Agatha Christie. I finished this book in 2 or 3 sittings, so you can understand how much intense the plot was. This book, The Unexpected Guest, is adapted from a full length play by the author. The plot involves when a stranger hits his car into a ditch in dense fog in South Wales, where he finds a woman standing over the dead body of her wheelchair bound husband with a gun in her hand. Do I need to say more, or will you read the book to find out what has actually happened? I'm sure you will read the book. And do let me know how did you like the book. The next two books that I will talk in this particular video, I am planning to make a review, individual review of both the books. One I will be shooting just after I finish this particular video, and one I'm still in two minds. Should I make a full-fledged video, or should I make a review on my Instagram handle with a written review? The books in question, the first one is Chitra Banerjee Devakuruni's latest book, Independence, and then another one is Kabar by K.R. Meera. You can understand when I am saying that I will be reviewing both the books in depth. So definitely these books have touched my heart, and that is the reason I want to make a full-fledged video on these books. Now, first I will talk about Independence by Chitra Banerjee. Well, I am a person who loves good literature, good use of English language. Chitra Banerjee satisfies my that thrust to read good English. Good storytelling is again her forte, and I will just say over here that this book is about three sisters live their journey who were living in some part of Kolkata. The time period in this particular book is somewhere between 1946 and 49, if not wrong. And to tell in depth, I need to tell about this book in depth. Otherwise, I think I will not do justice to this particular book. So do comment down below that whether you want to see a full-fledged book review video on this book, or you would like me to have write a review on my Instagram handle for this book. Because telling in 2-3 lines will, I personally think, will not do justice to this amazing book. I literally like this book, and the story was very fast paced, and it was very uh, I felt like I was watching a film. I was watching a Hindi film where every page was like a page turner, which kept me intrigued to find out what happened to the three girls till the end of the story. The next book, that is Kabr by K.R. Meera, another favorite author of mine, another author who writes very well. Well, this book by K.R. Meera is again a translation from Malayalam. It is translated by Nisha Susan, and I will be filming a full-fledged video on this book, Kabr. Uh, this book talks about a plot of land. What happens when two group of people are fighting over this plot of land, and the story is told through the eyes of a district magistrate in whose court this particular battle for this land where the cover is there is fought, has been told beautifully by the author. So do watch my detailed review on this book, Kabra. I am sure you will like, particularly those who like to read stories by Indian authors that are little bit different than the everyday stories. So do watch the book review of Kabra. The next book that I will talk is a very popular book. Even if you are not a reader, you must have heard about this book. The book is Colleen Hoover's It Ends With Us. I read this book last year in March. I wanted to find out what is there in this particular book, why everybody was going gaga for this book. Also, this book comes with a beautiful cover. Uh, this is one of the books that will definitely, the ending of which has definitely can't be forgotten, and you will remember the ending of the book for a very, very long time. Trust me on this. Now, most of you already know that this particular book is the story of Lily, who is the protagonist, her husband Ryan, and her lover from the past, Atlas. Lily did not have a good childhood. Her father was very dominant over her mother, which had impacted her early childhood. Also, how that reflects in her life after marriage is beautifully presented, written by Colleen Hoover. But it is the end. Yeah, it's a triangle love story, definitely. But it is the end that will definitely touch your heart. I bet on this. So, if you haven't read this book yet, It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover, then do grab a copy of this book. I am sure you will definitely enjoy reading the book. After reading this book, I bought its prequel. It starts with us, but somehow I did not uh, finish this book because I somewhere down the line I felt that the magic elements that was present in this book, It Ends With Us, was Somewhere down the line, missing it starts with us. I plan to finish this book this year, but frankly speaking, this book was a letdown for me. Do you enjoy reading ghost stories? Is horror a genre that you like to read? That too by Indian authors. Then the next two books will be in your book recommendation or in your next books that you read this summer, definitely. The two books are Haunted and Ghost of the Silent Hills. I thoroughly enjoyed both, sorry, I thoroughly enjoyed reading both the books. Now, this book, Haunted, again, I think I read it last year. And this book by J. Alani and Neil D'Souza, they, they are people who, if there is a ghost which is over you or in your house or at a place that you have visited, then it is the job of these people to take those ghosts away from you. In this particular book, they have told different short stories which talks about their experiences with ghost haunting. And these stories are all set in different parts of India. They are small stories of 15-20 pages. You will finish it in one sitting. And I'm sure if you are somebody who likes ghost stories that are set in India, then do try out this book, Haunted. It is about their personal experiences of the author and what they did, how they did with supernaturalism and ghost. Do enjoy reading this book if you like horror. This is my strong recommendation for the people, for the lovers of horror genre. The second book that I will talk is Ghost of the Silent Hills. You want to know about ghosts and their stories in the Silent Hills of India, then this book, again a collection of different short stories where ghosts have prevailed in the houses of the people living in the hills. Do grab this copy. If you are alone at home and you want to read something that can be thrilling, entertaining, then this book is my recommendation for you in this summer because it's very, very hot outside. Stay at home, read this book. I'm sure you will enjoy the short story collection. The next book that I will talk is In Other Words by Jhumpa Lahiri. I have again made a full-fledged video on this particular book, In Other Words by Jhumpa Lahiri. I will put the link over here as well as in the description down below. In this book, the author talks about her love for Italian language. She being an Indian who had resided in America for since her childhood, uh, plans to learn a new language at a later age of her life. I think she was in her late 30s when she decided to learn this language, Italian. How she learnt it, what were the obstacles that she had to face when she decided to learn a language at later stage of her life. Today, she has written some of her works in Italian language. She has won awards for it. But what was her process of learning at later stage of her life to learn a new language is what is mentioned in this particular book. And literally these kind of books inspires you that many people say that after a certain age you can't do this, you can't do that, but people like Jhumpa Lahiri change your perception about it. You want to learn a new thing, you can do it at any age. and it is all over here in your mind. So change your mindset. I am sure you can overcome many hurdles, obstacles, learn new things, make your life a better one. The last book that I will talk is again a very popular book. The book is Days of Abandonment by Elena Ferrante. This is the first book of Elena Ferrante that I am reading. This book talks about the protagonist Olga, whose happy, solid marriage of 15 years with her husband Mario suddenly comes to an end when her husband of 15 years, Mario, leaves Olga for a younger girl, Carla, who is the daughter of Mario's colleague. This abandonment that the husband did to Olga makes Olga come into surface with lot of things. She has 2 children whom she has to take care of. She has an unfinished novel which she has to complete. She had a sudden mental breakdown which she faces after this sudden departure of her husband of many years, who abandons her for a much younger woman. You know, when I was reading this is a very small novella kind of a book. When I was reading this book, I'm sure most of you, if you are a woman or if you are a man, you have heartbreaks in your life in some point or the other, and there are certain feelings you feel when somebody has left you. You try to find out reason why the person has left you. You try to find out fault in yourself. But in reality, it may be that it is not your fault, but it is the person who has left you, his or her fault. Those emotions are so beautifully represented by Elena Ferrante in this book, is worth mentioning. In this book, this woman, Olga, who is in her late 30s, if not wrong, she is 37 or 38 years old. The story is taking place somewhere in late 90s. There is a flashback of a woman whom Olga used to know when she was a child, and even that woman's husband had left her. Now there are time periods like late 70s when Olga was small, late 90s when Olga is in her late 30s. In every time frame when you are abandoned by your husband for no good reason or no fault of yours, the emotion remains the same. That has been so beautifully narrated by Elena Ferrante. This book is a must read for every woman who are watching this video. So this was my last recommendation for today's video. Out of these 10 books, which are the books you have already read? Which are the books you will read after you see this particular video? Do mention in the comments down below. I will see you soon in my next video. Till then, tata, goodbye, and have a great day ahead.